My name is Mark Kaliisa, and I'm a solicitor that specialises in mental health. So growing up in Deptford was really interesting because at the time it was quite a rough area. So there was a lot of gang crime, a lot of knife and gun crime, and I grew up in the midst of that. Although I didn't partake in it, it was quite around me a lot. So currently, I'm a mental health solicitor, and that entails me going into mental health hospitals representing mental health patients with their care plan, and sometimes having them discharged back into the community. My legal career has been a long career. It started off with me always aspiring to being a lawyer, but I wanted to be more of a commercial solicitor, just because that's what I saw on TV. So I studied law at college, and then I went on to have a law degree, practice, go do my law degree. So I did my undergraduate. Then it got a bit tricky because you have to have work experience. Getting into the legal field is quite difficult because you either need to know someone or you have to have work experience, and I had neither. So I did admin at first, and then I went on to do some work experience, initially in criminal law. So it was a firm called Solicitors, and did my interview. I got the role, but they said there's actually an area of mental health, and I had never studied mental health, never knew about the area until they told me at the interview. So I tried my hand in it, and I enjoyed it a lot, and then applied for actual paid role, and that's where my legal career began. I began as a paralegal, and then I did my law school for about 2 years on a part-time basis, and then I went on to do my training contract and qualify as a solicitor. I can say in terms of what I've learned, there's been loads of things. So I've learned that you have to persevere a lot because there's going to be loads of hurdles. There's going to be loads of things that will kind of cause you to doubt yourself in terms of pursuing a legal career. So I had to persevere, and I learned that no one's really going to open the door for you. You kind of have to force your way in the sense of getting the work experience, networking, applying, and just not giving up. So you will have a lot of rejection. So you'll put your CV out there, you'll get a lot of people saying, oh, unfortunately we can't hire you because of this or that, but you just have to keep going. And so perseverance has been a lot. And specifically in the mental health area, I've learned not to take my mental health for granted, because I see a lot of patients that come to me as clients and they struggle in the area of mental health, and so I appreciate that area so much. So what I'll tell my younger self is just keep going, persevere, don't give up. There were many times where it was really difficult, especially when you're trying to put your CV out there and you're trying to pursue something that you really love, and you're getting a lot of no's and a lot of rejections for one reason or another. And it was especially difficult for me because financially, I wasn't earning, even to the point that I went on to ESA. So I was at the job centre trying to look for jobs and still get some money. And so that was a really discouraging moment, but I think I'll tell myself, just keep going, don't quit. So what I consider success now is a lot different from what I considered success when I was younger. When I was younger, it was about what I can achieve, what I can gain, my career aspirations. But now it's more about who I am as a person. So my idea of success, because I'm a Christian, is really skewed on the teachings of the Bible, and it's more so about the character of the person rather than what the person's achieving. Like for me, I'm a solicitor, I can achieve a lot of goals financially, but if I'm not a person who is looking after family or looking after people, then for me it matters not. And so character is really important. So my biggest challenge would be that moment in terms of when financially things weren't working out. And so the moment where I had to humble myself and go sign on to ESA, I'd say that was a really difficult period. But I think I always had it in mind that this is only temporary. Like it's just a small part in the journey. And so I just had to keep going, and I just had to give myself a self-talk and really rely on the fact that where I'm going is bigger than where I'm at. So a normal day at work is pretty much interesting each day of the week. Each day is different. I go to a number of hospitals across the country and speak to mental health patients about what they're going through. and represent them in tribunals. So I go before a legal court inside a hospital setting, and I represent their views and help them to either be discharged into the community or to better their care plan. Representing patients entails me going before a tribunal, which is a panel of 3 members. So you have a judge, you have a tribunal doctor, and you have a specialist lay member. And to be detained in hospital, there's a legal criteria that the patient must meet. So they have to have a mental disorder of a nature or degree which makes it appropriate for them to receive treatment in hospital. And detention in hospital must be necessary, either for their own health and safety or for the protection of others. And patients often feel they're ready to be discharged and that they don't meet that criteria. So I'll go before the tribunal and I'll present their case, displaying the facts as to why they're not a danger to themselves or other people, or why they could be treated in the community and return to their families.